Welcome to Sketching Words. My name's Kevin. Today we are just doing a simple, boring update. See, right off the bat, you already know. I have been writing consistently, as we can see. Well, with the exception of when I stopped after the 18th. Okay? I don't know. It's been like a bit of a rut. I think it's because I was writing consistently for so long, and I just kind of ended up in this rut where it's like, ugh. And I think what it was is I became kind of bored with the stories I was working on. What I was doing, and it did work, is I would work on one story and then I would accomplish something in that story. So, say a chapter or two chapters. And then I'd move over to a different one and I'd accomplish a chapter in that. And that's kind of what I was doing, going back and forth. But then I stayed on one story and focused on it for weeks on end, and I became kind of bored with it, if you will. I think the premise here is I need to get back into this switching. When I accomplish something in a story, let's move to a different story. All right? Keep the juices flowing, the motivation there, because we'll be working on something else. And I think that's how I'm kind of going to go and pursue it. Now, as opposed to what I've been using, I've been using Storyist for two particular stories, which is my middle grade horror series, which is the one right here. And then we have Aurora and the Page Lord. That's the second one. I've been focusing on the middle grade horror. That's where I kind of got into this rut of not like writing consistently after the 18th, because I think I got bored with the story. So I should have moved over to Aurora. Now, I've been using quite the amount of different things. So I have a Remarkable Paper Pro, which this is actually just basically the Typefolio version. This one I'm doing short stories on, and I'm trying to consistently work on stories, but also trying different devices that I'm working on. For the Remarkable Paper Pro, I am using this, and then I guess you could call it my version of the zombie apocalypse. I'm writing on the Freewrite Traveler right here. See, there's a little bit right there. All right, not much. In retrospect, I probably have actually been working on my middle grade horror and Aurora and the Page Lord more consistently, but that's usually because I wake up and I get on my Mac Mini. Right now, what we're looking at is my Mac Air, because I found it easier to connect to my PC to share the screen. Too many wires connected to the other one. So, but either way, they had the same software that I use. Oh, for this one, I was using Scrivener. This is what I originally started out as. I was writing Aurora and my middle grade in it. Scrivener was annoying me because it couldn't sync properly, to say the least, because I work on two different, a Mac Mini and then the Mac Air. And if I accidentally left the project open on one of the computers, it wanted to create a copy of it. Sometimes it would do this, and I know for a fact that the program was not open. I got tired of using it. Piss poor programming from the creators of Scrivener, if you ask me, because I can use Storyist. I can leave the project open on the Mac, open it on my mini Mac, work on it, and it will automatically update even if the program is still open on my other computer. So, apparently not that hard, Scrivener. You're doing it wrong. So I got tired and irritated at using Scrivener because it just wasn't syncing properly and correctly. Now, besides that, I'm also using this Calmly Writer Pro. I don't quite remember when I upgraded to the Pro version, but apparently I did at some point. And there it is. That was kind of a delay. Oh, I know the problem here. I have to open the file. Oh, never mind. I don't have to open the file. I'm actually using this software to write. It's part of my middle grade series. It's House of the Horrid, okay? But the whole point is to be writing, and because I have so much writing software and devices, that I'm trying to split what I'm writing for when I review, well, what is it like writing on the Remarkable Paper Pro, which this would also apply to the Remarkable 2, but the only difference is the Remarkable 2 is a non-colored device. And then, of course, there's this, which I've tried to get in a habit of taking with me to work, for example, to do some writing. Needless to say, I have a few projects going on, and I'm working on different projects in different software and different typing devices in order to kind of be able at some point give my thoughts and opinions, a review, if you will. Now, granted, I have also got into drawing again. I really haven't actually started doing that consistently. I'm thinking like maybe 15, 30 minutes every day, maybe a little bit more. In fact, what I had come up with is I sometimes take my laptop with me to work, and sometimes I'll use it on lunch. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I bring it out and I open it and I do absolutely nothing on it. But I thought I would take some sketchbooks and start practice sketching during like the 15-minute breaks at work. So that should be good. And then I'll have probably an update in the sketching area a little later. I did join this course. So one thing that I did actually also start doing, I signed up for a artist course. It's called the Drawing Drills. It was actually, unironically, the cheapest, and I have tons of drawing books as well. Like, that's what this entire shelf is. I've even bought some new drawing books that a lot of artists on the interwebs really enjoy. So you can ultimately basically expect drawing updates and writing updates a little more regularly. In fact, after I edit this video and upload it, I am going to be doing some writing. I'm probably going to jump into Aurora and the Page Lord just to still give myself a break, because I spent like, I want to say almost 2 weeks consecutively on the same 2 chapters because I ended up in this rut where I was rewriting those chapters for 2 weeks. So I think that's also why I kind of got bored with the story, is I was dealing with the same part. Which I think I liked the other idea that I was originally doing, which is literally I wrote 1 chapter, was happy that I succeeded in writing 1 chapter. So then I went to a different story, wrote a chapter, and then I went back to the other one, wrote 1, and that's what I was doing. So I'm going to try and continue to actually do that instead of focusing on 1 story for a long period of time. And who knows, it'll probably fail. And when I say it'll probably fail is because the reason why I really invested in 1 story is because it was just the thing that I wanted to do. Like the ideas, the juices were flowing in the beginning, but near the end of that like 2-week spectrum, I guess you could say, time frame, I was like, this is boring because it's not going anywhere. And that's probably what it actually was. I probably was bored with the story because I wasn't progressing past the 2 chapters I had originally wrote. So I think that's kind of what it really is. Not necessarily that I focused too much time on it. Probably was a little bit. But that I wasn't, the story wasn't going anywhere. I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. I know update videos aren't the most exciting, although usually that's a YouTube video update. This is a writing update, and the next time I will be able to show off some sketches that I've been working on. It's probably going to be very basic stuff because the gentleman in the video is actually having you do very basic stuff like drawing lines at one angle and a different angle, curving them, kind of getting in the habit. Anyway, I will see you next time on Sketching Words.